What you want, yeah. We just chillin' by the WaWas, lemonade with the large fries. Puff twice for the calm high, ayy, what you want, yeah. Big checks make the bank bounce. Old school candy paint down. Bad chicks, they from down south, ayy, what you want, yeah.
Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, BQ Quick Review. I'm your host, BQ, and today we're going to be doing a reaction video today of a channel that I really like, you guys really like too, called It's Complicated. And you know, this guy is in Las Vegas and he goes around and he asks very intriguing questions about modern dating and relationships. So let's get right into it. Make sure you guys like and comment as it helps with the YouTube algorithm. I'm not gonna stop saying that, this is too funny. But let's get right into it. We'll try to answer some of these along the way.
Who is the most famous actress you can think of?
Actress? Drew Barrymore.
Okay. If Drew Barrymore was in a movie with a male co-star that nobody had heard of, would it be fair to pay them the same salary?
No.
Why not?
Because he's not, known of, and because he didn't, work to be famous like she did.
Okay. Since Drew is the star of the movie, won't she bring more people to the theater than her co-star?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that's called star power. How is that different than the gender pay gap?
That's a loaded one.
How's she gonna find herself around this one?
Well, I mean, the WNBA complains about not being paid.
Oh, he went there.
The NBA, and they don't generate as much revenue. So, I mean, isn't that kind of like the same thing?
I feel like the WNBA isn't promoted as much as the NBA because they are women.
Right, but I mean, wouldn't a male co-star that no one's ever heard of not be promoted as much and not be able to?
Yeah, I guess.
So is that comparable?
No, it's not.
Maybe, sure.
Come on, stop dancing around the
more
answer.
to do with performance than discrimination?
Oh, I don't know. You're like, hey, I wasn't ready. I don't know.
Well, I was. Here's the thing, she was trying to dance around the answer and everything because, you know, I don't know, maybe she's nervous on camera or something like that, but there's this whole thing about gender pay gap that's going around that's been debunked plenty of times by many people, and, you know, I don't know how it's still going on. And brought up an example of, the WNBA, and, you know, they complain about getting certain pay, but it's not generating enough revenue to make those demands. People usually are watching the NBA. That's where they're getting most of their money from. And my thing is too, if women complain about the NBA or whatever, the same women that complain about the NBA, the WNBA, and them not getting enough pay equal to the male athletes, they don't even go to the WNBA games. So that's my thing. If women really like that, they would support it also. But you don't really see a lot of women going to the WNBA games. So it's all about basically which generates more money. It's not about, oh, because they're women they get paid less, or they're men they get paid less. It's about which generating more money. I guarantee you, if the WNBA generated more money than the NBA, then it would be the same thing for the NBA, vice versa. So let's continue. Let's see what else he's gonna say.
You're right about that one, but I just feel like
if they both doing the same job, they deserve the same pay. It doesn't matter.
That doesn't make any sense.
But at the same time, you know, then why would someone want to star in their movie?
Exactly.
I mean,
what would be the benefit of having a celebrity in your movie if they weren't gonna, you know, bring more people to the theater?
I mean,
right. That makes sense, but
I mean, they're both doing the same job, but don't they have different value to the project?
Yeah, but I feel like
you're right.
So shouldn't their
whoever's
pay,
most
reflect
qualified,
the value that they're bringing to the movie?
Yeah, I agree with that. I feel like it depends on what part you play.
Doesn't that completely disprove the gender pay gap right there?
Yeah. All right.
You have two actors who are basically both starring and doing the same job, but they have different value because one is a celebrity and the other one's an unknown. So,
And you're saying with the basketball?
well, what I'm saying is when it comes to basketball, right?
She's like,
a
she
lot
ain't
of
trying to
them-
hear shit.
They pay the same
I got my
as
mother in the
NBA.
background. She over here visiting.
So is that kind of like the same analogy as the
Yeah, she could even contain herself.
and the no-name actor?
In some respect, but at the end of the day, I would say to advertise them more. In all respect, if we look
But
at Nike, if we look
no,
at Adidas,
no.
who do we see?
No, I gotta stop her here because that doesn't make any sense. Why? So she should just get extra advertisement because she's a woman. So when people aren't generating enough income or they're not getting the same results, we should just advertise them more. No, you advertise the people who are getting you the most results. If I'm a businessman, I'm gonna go with whatever's making me the most income, not try to make it all equal just to do it. If there's a woman who's outperforming a man, I'm gonna pick that woman over the man. If there's a man outperforming that woman, I'm gonna pick that woman over the woman. I mean, that man over the woman. Y'all know what I meant. But yeah, that doesn't make any sense. And if anything, you know, we talk about equality. That's not really equal now, is it? But let's continue.
Like we mostly see male, like athletes. I'm trying to make a post models.
But even if you advertise something more, does that necessarily mean that you're going to have more success? I mean, there are tons of businesses that fail.
Yeah.
But there's a ton that make it, and it's by advertising.
But you're not gonna make that.
Acting requires
You're not gonna make that risk.
Put a little bit more
as a
work
business
into
person.
it. Actually read a script, right? Read a script. Do all these things that NBA players don't have to really do. They just practice and so you can't compare them. You can't compare the two.
Well, once
As
again,
far as the pay rate is
No,
concerned.
you can't.
well, once again, like I said, they're both, you know, I mean, they're both training. They're both basically, you know, they're both doing, I mean, acting, whether you're a male or female actor, you're still basically, you know, doing the same work. But they shouldn't be paid the same?
I don't know.
I'm just saying, you
I'm
know.
over it. Next question.
I don't think it's based
What?
off discrimination. I think it's based off of
Oh,
how you
nah.
do your job, how well you are with your technique, and how good you are at what you do. I think that's what matters.
Do you think high-paid Hollywood actors should have their money redistributed so struggling actors can have a living wage?
No.
No, those struggling actors need to work harder for their money if that's what they want.
Okay, but
I know how
it's
you
funny
gonna flip
how
it.
a lot of Hollywood actors often talk about, you know, socialism.
Yeah, I see.
That doesn't.
So okay,
It contradicts
how do
each
you
other.
solve the gender pay gap?
There's not a gender pay gap. That's complete bullshit.
There has been
Someone with some
gender
sense.
pay gap, equal pay for equal work. Do you believe the wage gap is due more to sexism or productivity?
I think it's sexist.
No.
I think men get paid more. Yep.
It's gotta be productivity.
Nah. Well, my man said it the same, you know. I mean, y'all hear my mother in the background. She couldn't even say herself. She's on camera. Y'all not going to see my mother because y'all niggas are weird. But anyways, yeah, no, it's definitely productivity because, like, whoever's putting in the most work is basically gonna get the best outcome. It's just like I said, like, whoever is making the more results, I'm going to pick that person regardless of gender. The gender gap and all this has been debunked so many times. It's like ridiculous. Now, if we want to argue this in another country, maybe. In America, hell no. Oh, you want to say something real quick?
There are women that will run circles around men as far as work ethic
Okay.
and productivity.
I'm not saying they aren't.
So the pay gap.
Those women get paid more.
The pay gap for women needs to be brought up.
There's no pay gap.
There is.
Where?
There is. Men should not just automatically get paid more money because they're men, and that's.
But nowhere, that doesn't
I believe-
happen anywhere. That's
I believe-
illegal.
Like.
Can you name places?
America's not based on a lot of illegal stuff.
I'm not saying there aren't, but I'm just saying, where does this happen?
It happens anywhere where you can't speak about your pay
Then that's
rate.
under the books.
That-
Stuff that's not getting taxed, that's on you.
Not true. There are a lot of jobs that tell you do not talk about your wages
Then don't work
on
there.
a job.
If you literally report them, they
Spoken
can
like
get
a
in
man.
trouble.
Spoken like a man.
If
Wait,
you literally,
spoken like a man.
if you literally report these businesses and places, they would literally be in a lot of trouble. Those businesses would get
Spoken
shut
like
down.
a man. Don't
They
want
can't.
that.
But if you literally talk about these businesses, they would get shut down. You can't do that. You can't.
I think we.
You know what?
I think we live in a corrupt system,
Oh,
or
gosh.
this wouldn't even be an issue.
No, it's just propaganda. It's not true.
Sports versus acting. That's that I
If
don't
there
think that's
are
comparable.
if there are two doctors who have the same degree working in the same field, they get paid the same. The only difference is one might work more hours, take less vacation, and things like that.
I wish
Men
there was a
attend-
way to take a poll on that because
There's
I'm
no
not
poll
even
of
sure
There's
about
information and statistics on this. It's been disproven so many times.
that. Female and male doctors make the same amount.
No,
You
just
sure about
just
that?
in
You
general.
sure about
in
that?
general, for the workforce. In general, for the workforce,
I don't
doctor,
know
wherever
that,
you work.
I don't know that to be true.
So how can you be so
Because
sure that there's a pay gap?
Because this is the way it has been for the longest. I mean,
Where?
women? How long have we been even voting? Come on.
Aw, you're just talking just to
Come
talk
on.
now.
Come on.
All right.
Whatever we haven't fought for, we haven't gotten.
Oh, okay. Let's continue the video. That was a good back and forth though.
Can you show me a job where the pay scale for men and women is different?
Porn?
Okay.
There we go. Yeah. No, if we're gonna talk about pay gap, right? Female porn stars get paid way more than male porn stars, and that's a fact. Just off of that. Is that not true?
They do more work.
I'm gonna keep going.
I told you women run circles around men when it comes to work ethics.
They'll be in the same movie.
And
We
in
have
the
to be in
bedroom
the
as
same
well.
room.
Yeah.
If the wage gap exists, then why would companies employ men when it would be cheaper to hire women?
Can you answer
Because
that?
companies can be sexist. And that's like the point.
That's
That's the problem.
Why would companies employ men when it would be cheaper to hire women?
You know, that is a good one. Hold on. They probably wouldn't.
I mean, if women are capable of doing just as good a job and for less money, wouldn't it make sense for a company to hire all women?
I mean, yeah, if women were getting paid
This
less,
guy's genius
what
with
is
his
it, 70
freaking
cents on the
questions.
dollar, yeah, companies would, find a good deal in that, yeah.
Is there a wage gap or an earnings gap?
It's got to be an earnings gap.
yeah, I say
If
earnings.
men earn more than women overall, could it possibly be because men typically choose higher paying jobs, more dangerous jobs, and work longer hours?
Yep,
That's
these are all
exactly what it
facts.
is.
I work as a truck driver. I don't see clearly as many female
I've
truck
seen
drivers
female truck
as I do
drivers.
male. It's a dangerous
Yeah.
job. It's a long job. You're driving for hours. Yeah, no.
Don't women generally choose lower paying fields like education and nursing as opposed to math, science, and ditch digging
Yeah,
jobs?
more thinking more.
So wouldn't their pay reflect that?
Yeah, women like to work with people. Men like to work with things.
Don't women also
Yeah.
choose to take more time off to focus on friends and family, whereas men are more likely to be devoted to work?
Yep.
I think, yeah, this is also another fact. Biology of life.
Women have to bury a child and they.
You have a comment on that?
Yes. I think there should be an acknowledgement that women, unlike most men, no matter what job they choose, they have a second job that they usually don't get paid for. That is taking care of the man and the family, children.
Okay.
So
the
the
man
money
doesn't
that
do
they're
that too?
making, not to mention single parent homes where the woman is the sole provider.
Okay. So
The earnings need to come up.
just
For
because they're
whatever
single
job,
parent.
for whatever job they do, for
So you're
whatever
saying-
job.
No, I
women-
don't agree with that.
Well, you say that the jobs
I
that
don't
men
agree with
are
that.
doing are more dangerous, but if you're working in a hospital, let's take a look at even when COVID was going on. The
Mm-hmm.
woman was more likely to die, a nurse in a hospital. So come on. So let's rethink the earnings and wages of women.
No, because if you're no, that doesn't
death
make
is
any
not
sense.
an occupational hazard. Yes, it is. So when you say that a truck driver's job is more dangerous than that nurse who's working in the hospital, who could get stuck by someone who has HIV, who could die from COVID during the epidemic, who can lose her life just from contracting another disease or whatever. I believe that, is death not an occupational hazard? It is
But
for a cop. Wait, it is for a police officer? Why is it not for a nurse? The earnings need to go up.
Thing is like you're talking about nursing and stuff. Nurses get compensated a lot of money for what they do. Doctors get compensated for a lot of money what they do. Teachers may get underpaid for what they do. And there are certain practices that women go for that just don't pay as much. Like they'd rather be a teacher than do like something like offshore off-sea drilling or whatever, or working in the sewers, or doing something that has intensive labor or something where you can physically get hurt, maimed, or die, or construction and things like that. They don't pick those things. Those jobs tend to pay more. I'm not talking about doctors where you gotta have a master's degree and stuff like that. They usually get compensated for that. But they usually go for things that has to deal with people, like he said, that tends to get less, you get less pay for them. People go into STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, which usually gets more money. Those are the things that are dominated by men. And it's not like women can't get in those things. They choose not to.
Well, we usually should just come to grips with, we need to rethink what we think is important in our society. And I think the fact that women are the nurturers and are responsible a lot for the state of mind that children in schools have, like that's the second home, the school. So why do we as a society think that that's not the most important thing? Education and nurturing of our children. Why do we think that, why are teachers underpaid?
Okay, well that's going on a specific whole another topic, but I think the gender pay gap is because of women's choice, not because people are underpaying women. I think I know that's completely just false. I can't even say I think it's been disproven many times. It's not debatable.
It is. We're doing that right now.
I mean, you're debating it, but
we're doing it right now.
I know what I'm saying is right, but
it needs to change.
But what you're saying is it needs to change just because women.
Well, like I said, the Voting Rights Act.
Come on, we continue.
You have to take maternity leave, so that's a very big issue for most CEOs in the company, because they can't really have
she got a little accent.
That liability for an employee to take leave for such a long time, and that's one of the biggest concerns for women being paid so low, is because of their. It all has to do with.
But isn't that biology? And
yes, it has to do with biology. That's why we're upset.
Why should an employer be responsible for a woman's choice to have a kid?
They're not responsible, but it's just the basic ethics.
It actually is illegal to discriminate pay based on gender. Why aren't more women filing class action lawsuits against companies that don't pay them equally?
I would say it's a lot easier to get another job. I mean, I'd love to say, like, yeah, we're going to fight for it. And we
That's what I said.
To the extent of a lawsuit, I mean, get a new job. Like,
don't people sue for discrimination all the time?
Yeah, but also, I feel like it's a lot harder for anybody to then go sue their job due to something that happened, knowing that they're going to go through all the legal fees. They have the possibility of not then winning that case, although they very much would have been discriminated against. There's not a high chance that they could win it, and if they do, you get a payout, pays out through the staff, and things like that.
But even a class action lawsuit, I mean, if it was happening as frequently as you hear about it, you would think that companies would be sued all the time.
You would think, but I also don't think a lot of people are going to go through their time to sue a company knowing that it might be more repercussions to them in the end due to money and legal fees and all that.
Oh, that's the only
I also just think it's not talked about enough in the workplace. Like, there's a large stigma around discussing your pay with your coworkers, because what if you do make more than them, and then they're like, hey, like, why are you getting paid more than me? It's something that you don't generally talk about with your coworkers. Like, oh, by the way, I make this much a year. You know, I make this much per paycheck. It's not something that comes up in workplace conversation.
Can you tell me any jobs where the pay scale for men and women is different?
Not off the top of my head without.
Nobody can.
Actors. I mean,
He just gave
raw
an example.
amount of payment, but men are higher paid.
Why are some industries dominated by men and others by women?
Oh. Dang, I don't know.
Why are there more female than male strippers and prostitutes, and what does that say about society?
That sex sells, and that a female body is more pleasurable to look at, I guess.
Would it be possible to sell sex if men did not sexually objectify women?
No.
No.
That's why I'm not complaining.
Are y'all not complaining? No. I hear a lot of complaining.
That's how people view women.
Okay. Why don't men complain about female strippers and prostitutes earning more than male ones?
That's a good question.
How much of our economy is driven by men buying things to please and impress women?
Oh, that's...
Yeah.
Man, it's got to be close to 100%, if not, in the high 90s,
Would you agree that most consumer spending is geared towards women?
Yeah, I think
absolutely.
the statistics are right. I think 86% of consumer base is women.
Yeah.
Would you also agree that the media pushes a campaign of fear and consumption by exploiting men's need for female validation?
Yeah, like a dating websites. They're not there to find love. They're there to extract as much resources out of men as possible.
Yep.
So why is there so much talk about the exploitation of women, but we never talk about this exploitation of men?
It's like the society growing up thing, toughen up, young man, or men don't cry or something like that. That's expected.
Hey, that's what he
men
says. You
to
gave that answer.
Front the bill.
Finally, why is there so much talk about a gender pay gap, but not a gender spend gap?
I sometimes I believe women want to be men in the sense of that they want the ambition, they want the drive that they have, they want the results, but results aren't given to everybody equally.
Yeah.
How should we determine which jobs are more valuable?
It's about supply and demand when it comes to what's valuable.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
if it's cracking, if it's a lot of people that want the business, whatever the job is offering, then it should pay more. Like McDonald's, man. I think McDonald's workers should get paid more. They making all the goddamn cheeseburgers, man. Pay them McDonald's workers more money, man.
Women can do more than men can in certain aspects, and men can do more than women can in certain aspects.
So if a man is making more, it's because he's doing a job that I probably can't do.
So can we agree that men and women are different?
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go. What does it mean when somebody says that's a man's job?
I think in society it's meant to mean that it's like a more macho or like laborious
Requires brute
job.
labor.
Yeah.
Society-wise.
Okay, what's a woman's job?
A woman's job is anything she wants to be.
Get the fuck out of here! Get the fuck out!
Spoken well. Bravo. Spoken
This
well.
is bullshit.
Thank
This
you.
bullshit. See,
Women can run circles. Anything you can do, we can do as well.
That didn't make it so basically man's jobs are one dimensional, but women's jobs can be interchangeable.
We can do it.
And I think that's the problem now. I think that's the problem nowadays. Really, I think that's the problem nowadays, really, because men have tried to stick to their traditional roles and everything, while women have kind of gone away from that, but they still want the benefits of a traditional woman without being traditional. And I think that's the whole problem in this whole dating dynamic. But that's another topic. Yeah.
In the same respect, yeah.
Hard work, labor, out and open.
What's a woman's job?
Cook, clean, and make sure the house is good.
Most women want to do this job today?
They should.
But do they want to?
Probably not.
No.
So why are women still expected to be what women want if women are no longer encouraged to be what men want?
Thank
Where we
you.
live in.
Isn't that a world of double standards?
It is.
Mechanics,
Ooh.
Getting your hands dirty, moving labor, driving trucks. The list can go on and on.
Why are women more concerned with the ratio of male to female CEOs as opposed to the ratio of lower paid, dangerous, dirty jobs done mostly by men?
I think because women who want to start
They don't want to do those
want to
jobs.
be their own CEO are frowned upon because it's looked at that's a man's job, not a woman's job.
It's on the tip of my brain. It's like they don't even acknowledge that as something that makes the world go round. We're in Las Vegas. Men built all of these skyscrapers, roads. There's probably some women in there, but yeah, they're just invisible to that.
Yeah, you're standing in front of the Eiffel Tower. That was built by a man, probably. Would you rather have a high-profile job for no pay or clean sewers for $100,000 a year?
Oh, the sewers. What are you talking about? That's easy. Wait, what would you do? Would you have a high-profile job that doesn't pay you, or would you rather work in the sewers for $100K a year?
Give me a mask, and I'll do the $100,000 sewer job.
Well, I'm sure they would give you.
We can't.
I'm pretty sure they would give you protective equipment.
Yeah, it would have to be that.
The $100,000.
How long I could do it, I don't know.
No, that's your job.
Ooh.
The high-profile job, or you want the $100,000?
Women don't like being in a mess all day.
Well, you
It's
answered it right
it's
there.
like a pig telling me to be rolling in slop all day.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. This is a
question.
Yeah, this is a really genius question because I think that, and I want you all to answer the questions with me. I hope you guys are answering along, but I think that the women are going to choose the high-profile job because they care about the status rather than the jobs that are you have to get down and dirty and stuff because
women don't like being underground. No,
I mean, yeah, but here's the thing: like they look down on those type of jobs, but they want to be comfy and in the office with air conditioning and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But the jobs that where you have to get down and dirty and stuff that people look down on are the things that maintain the infrastructure of society. Like literally, if guys stopped doing it, society would not run. So, I just find it like very weird nowadays where a lot of women would look down on people who do those jobs, like the person that drives the trucks and does the garbage and things like that, not knowing that society can't even run without those things, or people who do like plumbing and work in the sewers and things like that. But yeah, I predict the women are going to pick those jobs rather than those things.
A woman's going to do that $100,000 job for as long as she can. But
No,
because she will. But because we're thinkers, she's going to do that job. She's going to figure out a way to do it. She's going to make that money. They don't care about that.
They care about the status.
She's going to make that money. But a woman's always thinking about higher, so she's not going to stay there.
All right. I don't think she's going to do it at all, but we're going to find out right now,
Struggle with the smell of poo. So I think a high-profile job with no pay, because when you think about it, it would come with incentives.
I guess there's pros to both of them, but to give you a flat-out answer, I would prefer to have the high-profile job without pay, because if I was high-profile, I'd market myself to be sponsored by some
This guy's
company
fucking genius with
and
these questions.
just keep working at it and get money, get paid, do more with that platform I have.
I'm cleaning sewers for $100K, man. Ain't no
My
shit,
nigga,
man.
see, I knew
I'm
it.
cleaning sewers. There's no question about it.
Like, obviously.
More money.
Clean the sewers. I'm just going to my head. No, I'm going to clean the sewers for $100,000 a year.
Or clean sewers for $100,000 a year.
I'd rather the first one.
I fucking knew it.
Explain why you're paid less?
Yeah.
That
Because you don't want to
he's
do...
a freaking genius, I swear.
You don't want to do the dangerous, dirty jobs.
No.
So could that possibly be why so many women earn less money than men?
Yep.
So is that based on discrimination or based on choice?
And just
this women.
We're ending the video right there. We just proved it. We just proved it. Yo, this guy, I don't know his name from It's Complicated, but this guy is so freaking smart with his questions. He does like these questions, and it really makes you think, and it really like instead of like trying to give his opinion, he lets people give their opinions, and you know, it kind of this last part, honestly, I'm glad I didn't end the video early, but this last part was very telling, and if anything proves that this whole pay gap is not because men and women, they want to pay men more, it's because of female choice. You know, we've seen all the women, just as I predicted, would pick the high profile job because of the status of it, rather than the actual job that pays money. But yeah, this is a great video. You know, definitely I'm gonna put a link to this video and go to their channel, support and watch their channel. This guy is very dope. Love his videos. And what did you guys think about this video? What do you guys think about the pay gap and everything? And I'll see you in the next video. BQ quick review. Now we do.
Pick up the pieces and patches, I gotta be, cause the edges are jagged. I do not call my piece lessons with real beef, they be squeezing them ratchets. You not the same person that you on internet, I've been smelling some catfish. Don't condone violence, cause we move in silence, you know that they got it like Metal Gear Solid. Pick up the pieces and patches, I gotta be, cause the edges are jagged. I do not call my piece lessons with real beef, they be squeezing them ratchets. You not the same person that you on internet, I've been smelling some catfish. Don't condone violence, cause we move in silence, you know that they got it like Metal Gear Solid.